A new problem is quietly making life harder for many Indian renters in the United States. People are reporting more rejections, slower approvals, higher deposit requests, and more requests for local proof they do not always have. And for students, H-1B workers, and new immigrants, this can turn a normal apartment search into weeks of stress. By the end of this video, you will know 3 things: what is actually happening in the rental market, who is most affected, and what you can do right now to improve your odds without guessing. Here's the key point. This is not one single official rule that says Indian renters cannot get housing. What people are describing is a pattern. Landlords and property managers are screening more aggressively, and in a tight market that can hit new arrivals the hardest. Think about what many newcomers bring to the table. They may have a good job offer, savings, and a clean record, but they may not have a long U.S. credit history, a previous U.S. landlord reference, or a local co-signer. That matters more than many people realize. Now, who is most affected? Usually 3 groups. First, international students. They often arrive with limited credit history and sometimes need shared housing. Or a guarantor. Second, new professionals, including people on work visas like H-1B. Even with a steady salary, they may still look risky on paper. If the landlord wants a long track record in the U.S. Third, families who are newly arriving and trying to move fast. If they are applying from scratch, they can be judged mostly by documents instead of real financial stability. Who is not as affected? People with strong U.S. credit, a long rental history, a permanent resident status, or a trusted co-signer often have an easier time. That does not mean they never get rejected. It just means they usually start with an advantage. Here is where people get confused. Myth: having enough money should be enough to get approved. Reality: in many rental markets, landlords also want credit history, income consistency, and lower perceived risk. Another myth: every rejection is discrimination. Reality: sometimes it is just a very competitive market, and landlords are being unusually selective. But repeated patterns can still feel unfair, and in some cases, they may raise serious questions. So why is this happening now? A few pressures are stacking up at the same time. Rent is high in many cities. Housing supply is tight. Interest rates have made buying more expensive, which can keep more people in the rental market. And when demand goes up, landlords can choose from more applicants. That is the part most people miss. In a soft market, a landlord may be flexible. In a crowded market, the same landlord may ask for a higher deposit, a stronger credit score, or a local guarantor. Example scenario: a student lands in the U.S. with savings for tuition and rent. They apply for an apartment near campus. The landlord sees no U.S. credit history and asks for a co-signer. The student cannot provide one, so the application stalls. That is not always about income. It is about perceived risk. Example scenario: a software engineer arrives on a work visa. They have a strong offer letter, but the landlord wants proof of several paychecks, a credit score above a certain level, and a long lease commitment. The applicant is financially stable, but still gets delayed because their U.S. file is too thin. Now let us talk about what you should do next. Do this. Gather your proof before you apply. That means ID, visa, or status documents if requested, recent pay stubs or offer letter, bank statements, and references if you have them. Do this. Build your application like a package. A clean, organized file can help you move faster when landlords are comparing multiple people. Do this. Check whether the property accepts guarantors, co-signers, or higher deposits if that is allowed in your situation. Avoid this. Applying blindly to every apartment without reading the screening rules. Some listings quietly expect a U.S. credit score. Avoid this. Assuming a denial is final everywhere. One landlord may reject you while another accepts the same file. If you can, keep a temporary backup plan while you search. Here is another important myth versus reality moment. Myth: only low-income renters get rejected. Reality: many well-paid immigrants still get stuck. If you are a student, focus on places that regularly work with international tenants. If you are a new worker, ask in advance whether they accept employment letters, foreign credit, or a guarantor service. If you are moving with family, ask about the minimum income and occupancy rules before you submit an application. And if you are being rejected, Do not panic. Start tracking patterns. Was it the same type of property? The same city? The same missing document? Sometimes the fix is not bigger savings. Sometimes it is a better application strategy. What could happen next? We may see more pressure on rental affordability and more debate over how screening should work for newcomers. We could also see more people turning to shared housing, extended stay options, or suburbs with lower demand. Another thing to watch is transparency. If more renters keep reporting the same issues, there may be more attention on how screening criteria are used. But for now, most people need practical steps. So here's the simple recap. 1. Many Indian renters are facing tighter screening, especially in competitive cities. 2. Students and new workers are often hit hardest. 3. A strong income does not always guarantee approval. 4. Documents, planning, and backup options matter more than ever. 5. Repeated patterns should be taken seriously and watched closely. If you are in the middle of a housing search, stay calm and stay organized. The system may be strict, but preparation can make a real difference. Subscribe for more updates.